So it's the 27th of the 11th, 2019 in Tralee, County Kerry. I've been uploading for the past few days as my own little um, record of the happenings and non-happenings since I've been experiencing such injustice and violations. Um, and just to make clear, the um, the last upload at 11:30 last night, um, with regard to the comment about preferential treatment, was in the sense of prioritising that the government prioritise the culprits perpetrating injustice against me. Um, so today, the concern or the issue I'm going to discuss is mental health. In the past few days, weeks even, I've heard of numerous situations of individuals dying by suicide. Um, as I've stated, since 2015, the intrusion of individuals from mental health services violating my privacy and diagnosing um, inaccurately um, and imposing and defaming has been horrendous. Now, a mother is meant to be enjoying motherhood and marriage and family life, and those aspects of my livelihood have been intentionally um, interfered with by professionals not being at all professional with the defamatory claims that they're stating and the um, impositions that they're imposing. Um, for mental health professionals to be causing this kind of a disturbance in a perfectly healthy person's life kind of signifies a mental sickness of their own, and doesn't really signify a very professional manner at all. Misdiagnosis and imposing on a person's life and claiming falsehoods and also prescribing harmful medication and unsuitable medication is an abuse of their position. Um, the intrusion has been horrendous, and as I've said, it's only been since I've been married. So the thing about it is, mental health professionals that are taking liberties and abusing their positions and defaming my character and capabilities um, are responsible and culpable for very serious damages. Um, this issue also involves anonymous individuals that have made false claims. Now, as a victim of sexual assault from over 10 years ago, and as a victim of hate crime, um, and as a deserted wife, my livelihood is quite solitary. Um, I'm an adult woman, fully capable of looking after myself, fully capable of looking after my responsibilities, but due to the human rights violations, there's been a lot of incriminations and false allegations that are not only inaccurate but completely false. Um, the idea of professionals, mental health professionals in particular, thinking that they're in any way, um, you know, infallible for making such intrusions and such false claims about an individual that is a target and a victim of hate crime um, doesn't say much about their ethics or their professionalism or their codes of behaviour or their standards. Um, the mental health issues that are in society have been highlighted very clearly. As a member of the fellowship, for other individuals to be causing these kind of problems highlights not only um, not only just the insanity of this situation, but to be causing a situation like this that involves the violations that are occurring, the defamation that's occurring, the character assessments that are completely false um, by individuals that are in no position to make such calls or comments, um, just highlights how people are insane enough to think that they can say what they want, damage who they want, steal what they want, and harm who they want. So for professionals that have proper codes of behaviour and ethics and respect for a person's privacy, I hope that they understand how serious the violations are that are occurring. Um, as is known, the intrusion of mental health professionals since 2017 in this town and county have been unwarranted and unnecessary. As a private individual, as a deserted wife, providing for myself and looking after myself, to have individuals, anonymous individuals, making unsubstantiated claims is further evidence of the fact of how serious this situation is. The abuse of mental health professionals' positions as a tactic in facilitating hate crime, while there are people mentally ill and dying by suicide, is a very serious matter for the health minister. So my main issue or concern today is that as a woman, adult woman, professional teacher, mother and wife, etc., etc., that has been experiencing these kind of violations, the guards and government that are turning a blind eye and facilitating these liars that have been imposing themselves upon my livelihood and making unsubstantiated anonymous claims that they have not provided me the information with, even though I have sought that information. And also the issue of just the intrusion and the defamation and the abuse of people's positions because they think they can get away with it. But as I've stated last night in my final upload last night, my third upload, there won't be any culprit, professional or otherwise, ever escape the harm that was done against myself and my family. There has been a very serious miscarriage of justice. There has been a very serious obstruction of justice. I've not received compensation for the medical negligence that I've experienced. I've not received compensation for the unlawful detainments by mental health services when I wasn't even a patient or neither even suffering from a mental health illness. So the wrongdoings occurring are an abuse of power, a disrespect of my constitutional rights, and a crime against humanity, basically, against a law-abiding citizen that has been living peacefully and respectfully towards other individuals and citizens in society, that has been deserted in my marriage, that has experienced domestic abuse. So these don't constitute mental health issues. These matters constitute legal issues of women's safety. Now, for the women that think that their abuse of the power of position and profession in society are in any way avoiding the wrongdoings and transgressions that they've perpetrated by simply abusing and incurring further wrongdoings, then they're very sadly mistaken, because there is no defence for the indefensible, and for what has been taken from me, and for what has been stolen from me, and for what has been done to me. I'm afraid that there'll be awful foundations laid for future generations as a consequence, because of the unjustifiable injustice perpetrated. So the medical negligence that I've experienced and that has been untreated the medical matters that have been untreated, are the matter of concern. The issue of having experienced sexual assault that the guards and government have not acknowledged is another issue. Um, so, as for mental health professionals intruding, imposing, and lying and abusing their positions, um, I would think that their efforts and energy and time would be best directed at the people that need their help. Um, as for the guards, as I've stated already, that are aware of the assaults that I've experienced over 10 years ago and recently, that they are aware of, and as a victim, why aren't the guards safeguarding vulnerable women in society and ensuring that we shouldn't have anything to worry about? Um, I shouldn't be concerned about these matters. I should be living happily, safely, and abundantly. But because of the wealth that was stolen from me, because of the violations of my privacy and the defamation of my character, my profession and my livelihood has been damaged. So, this matter that the Medical Council have been made aware of and that they have ignored, the Mental Health Commission that are aware of the unlawful detainments and that they have ignored, and the misdiagnosis and defamation of my character that they have ignored, as well as the assaults that I've experienced that the guards have ignored. This issue that has been caused in Tralee County Kerry has involved medical professionals, mental health professionals, and authorities. So there are three very important pillars in society. Medical professionals to prioritise the health and well-being of patients. Now, as a sufferer of fibromyalgia, I haven't been treated with consultations or referrals that would be required to help with my physical ailments. As regards the guards, that I'm sure work very hard, why should I feel that I'm being wronged when there is so much wrongdoing, unjustified? I shouldn't be experiencing this problem. And the guards shouldn't be facilitating the injustice and miscarriage of justice that's occurring. It's very serious, and especially for young women that could be vulnerable to the experiences that I've experienced. And as for mental health professionals, you know, mental health, everyone needs their mental health. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So, making an enemy of an innocent woman that has only positively helped other people isn't always, a wise, tactic when these kind of problems are being caused by people that haven't even the integrity to address and correct their own wrongdoings. So this matter seems to have just exacerbated and worsened since 2017. The lies that have been told about Emer Griffin McElligott have been very dangerous and unwarranted. So there's no excusing the situation. I've discussed all the spiritual aspects as a light worker, a royal angelic light worker. I've explained the financial wealth that has been stolen and damaged because of loss of earnings and exploitation of my work. So the nonsense of people's claims and intrusions is so juvenile. I can only describe it as being juvenile. It's not only malicious and petty, but the lies that have become apparent, that are being facilitated and excused, is just a very sad sign of the times. So, if the Mental Health Commissioner listening, as a person that has worked in mental health organisations myself, I hope they know the responsibility that they have to actually look after the people that need their help. And being an instrument for hate crime and facilitating those culprits of hate crime is very serious. So this is about morals, not money. It's about obligations and duties, because as society is at the moment, and as for what has been happening, the very foundations of society have been brought into very serious disrepute. And as a law abiding citizen, and as a teacher, and as a person that has prioritized, you know, um, the ethics that are required when in professional positions, i.e., working with children or grown adults, or, people have completely disrespected not only my role in society as a mother and a teacher and a light worker, but also they've actually disrespected um, the institutions of society that are meant to safeguard everyone's well-being. So the guard's duty isn't to victimize a victim. The guard's duty is to safeguard um, people in my position that have been wronged and unjustifiably defamed and slandered, and I've been stolen from. So I hope I'm making myself very clear on a day-to-day basis that the information that I'm providing establishes the sanity and reality of this situation, the imposing nature of people that are causing these problems have disrupted the very delicate equilibrium of society. Um, so those like playing chess with, you know, society, moving the pawn here and the king there and the queen here, you know, that's not how it works. And so basically, the matters being caused won't serve anybody's future for the trouble that has happened. So it's unfortunate that people don't seem to realise that. It's unfortunate that people don't have the decency or integrity to confront me or consult me while they're causing me these damages and losses. Um, I've had the most defamatory claims made about me, and I haven't even had any consultation with those people that have made claims. I've not had any involvement with people that have made the claims. So, all the lies in the world won't be able to ever conceal the injustice, discrimination, inequality, and serious miscarriage and obstruction of justice being perpetrated in Tralee County, Kerry, Ireland.